want to do a little Q&A, I'll answer your questions to the best of my abilities, and we'll go from there. So let's see. News, how's the Bitcoin risk metric doing? Flashing sell? I'm not going to sell at this point. I mean, I know yesterday, or was it a couple days ago, when everything went from like 80 to 90, people were saying, should I sell now? Should I sell now? Should I hit the top? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I think it's a little crazy to think about selling. And I'm just going to put it out there like this. What if this goes through, and like Senator Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming talks about, she says within the first 100 days, we should be able to put in a Bitcoin strategic reserve for the United States. You talked about how the United States right now, because through seizures, are currently own 230,000 Bitcoin. She said behind with Trump leading the way, we can pick up 1 million Bitcoins and put that in the reserve. I thought to myself, if we put 1 million Bitcoins in a strategic reserve for America, what are the other countries going to do? There's only so much to go around. And then you have to understand the fact, and I don't think a lot of people, I mean, we know this, but a lot of people don't know this, which is that out of the 21 million, 5 or 6 million are gone. So just take that off the table right now. And those aren't moving. So then if this actually happens, and then we've got the MicroStrategies and the El Salvadors of the world, and we got BlackRock's who doing their spot ETF, which they actually have to possess the actual Bitcoin. Well, they don't possess it. Coinbase does. And you have all these ETFs, and it's the #1 ETF so far this year. And now nations are going, well, we need to get in a part of this because we don't want to be left out. Where do you think things are going to go? To me, I don't think it's a great idea right now to sell for me. Now, you can sell all the Bitcoin you want to, but I think right now this is where I'm going to stay. All right. Soul Caden says, nation state FOMO incoming. That would be crazy, right? Isn't it funny though? Like, we've been talking about this for years, right? And then we're like, well, this could happen, this could happen. And it's happening. It's amazing. It was inevitable. People are, you're right in the comment. I hear that's inevitable, Rod. It was inevitable. You're right. I didn't expect it to happen like this fast. I will tell you this. This is between us. Just us, right? If Vice President Harris was elected, as far as like for crypto, this would never, I don't think this never would have happened. And if it did, it would have taken a lot longer. Now, I know people say, well, you don't need the government. You don't. But they sure can make things a heck of a lot easier if they just get out of the way or at least support a little bit. Web3 me. Institutions coming since I've been in the space about 5 years. It's true. It is amazing. Like even like, where did he go? Where did Max Kaiser go? I mean, I remember listening to when I first got in. And I was like, this guy's insane. There's no way that nations are going to put this in their balance sheet. There's no way this is going to be the standard. And now pretty much on the precipice of that actually happening. So look at that. No, I didn't. MS said, just got here. Did Rob mention Robinhood listing ADA, XRP, and Solana again? That's good. I don't know what's going on with their Wells notice, but I did see something that was quite interesting. Let me bring this up. There's an ex-SEC employee. His name's John Reed Stark. Hey, there's Randy. Is the Bitcoin super cycle here? I believe it is. John Reed Stark, a nice enough guy, absolutely detests crypto, but even he gets it. And again, he's a big proponent for the SEC and Gary Gensler. And he goes, they're right all along. But here he was today SEC Chair Gensler should resign. The SEC staff should prepare a spreadsheet of all crypto-related investigations, litigations, and rulemaking so the new chair can swiftly grind them all to a screeching halt. Like it or not, the people have spoken and their will must be respected. So that right there is the power of an administration that is coming in. And that is the power of the people that voted all of these congressmen and women and senators into power now that are pro-crypto, pro-digital assets. And without everybody voting and sending that clear message, that tweets, that step down, all that stuff is not going to happen. Just not. So sometimes the will of the people and the voices actually get heard. It is amazing. Yeah, Willie, you're welcome. People selling stocks for crypto. Let me read you something. This is just between us. Don't tell my brothers. Let me see here. From one of my brothers. This is a text as everything's going. I didn't want to post this because I didn't want to, because their names are in there. But it says, "Hey Rob, as Bitcoin grows, who regulates it? Me and my wife have no clue how to invest in and how it pays out." I said, "It doesn't grow. It's capped at 21 million. It's all there is and all there ever will be. And just like $1 is equal to 100 pennies, one Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis. It's regulated by a global network of Bitcoin miners that secure the network." There's a little bit more to it, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And my other brother chimes in. He's a big equities guy, big stockholder. He says, "Just make it easy and invest in Visa." And I said, "Yeah, just invest in Visa, like Eric said." And I said, "You'll freak out if you invest in Bitcoin and you won't make it because you're not built for that." And he calls us smartasses. And then my other brother says, "According to what Schwab says, since I first bought the Visa stock 30 years ago or so, my overall return is 835%. Imagine that. It's pretty good. He did a great job. 835% over 30 years. That's over a 25% return on average per year. I said, "Yeah, that's pretty good. Just stick with that." Because at this point, I've already done my job. I've educated as much as I possibly could, and that's that. Someone wants to get into Visa, that's cool. I mean, it's better than doing nothing and just saving your money. Would crypto be outsized gains? At this point, yeah, probably. But it's not for me to say that. I'm just like, you got to figure it out yourself. So yeah, people are, at some point, people will and probably are selling their stocks for crypto. The next thing, you know what's going to happen. People are going to talk about Bitcoin, about how it's unobtainable and it's just too much. Another thing is that this is the reality of the situation, is that people are going to start talking about how Bitcoin is 100K per Bitcoin. And then people will think to themselves, I can't afford 100K, even though they don't know that they can just buy 10 bucks worth of Bitcoin. Doesn't matter. And they're going to get that in their head. And their relatives, family, friends, whoever is into crypto is going to give them a link to sign up for Coinbase or Kraken or Binance or wherever they're at. And they're going to look at all these cryptos and say, wow, I can buy 10 billion Shiba for 100 bucks or whatever it is. I'm just going to buy that. And that's how it all goes. Because very few people are going to tell them like, hey, you know, you're not going to be able to, if you got 100K, go ahead and buy a whole Bitcoin. Good for you. But that's how the other part will go. And that's why part of the reason why it starts with Bitcoin, it goes crazy. Then people come in and go into high cap altcoins and they go into lower cap altcoins. And this time they're probably going to go into meme coins. And that's it. What a clown. He is a clown, but I love him. I love them both. Slice says, Rob, is it true FTX is 1 billion Solana to dump on us? I have no idea. Actually, no, I do know. As I understand it, there is, I don't know if it's 1 billion, but there is a bit, but they've been, as I understand it, correct me in the comment section, they've been selling along the way to pay back their creditors. Look, I hope, and if it's true that they have a bunch still to dump, rate. And you know my thesis on Solana. If you're using pump.fun like everybody else is, and you're making 10,000 to 14,000 tokens per day, Solana is the platform. And you're actually going to need Solana to actually have that as utility. Go figure. Utility for meme coins. So yeah, this guy called Peter is trying to sell me these shiny rocks. Yeah, Peter Schiff is getting into ordinals, and he thinks it's a good idea for you to buy some of his BS projects, even though he's been talking trash about Bitcoin since Bitcoin was less than $300. Peter Schiff. I don't think, you know what I think? I think Peter Schiff actually owns a lot of Bitcoin. 800% is a good week. It is a good week for us. And as far as like 835%. But still, I mean, I handed it to I'm like, look, you did really great in stocks. Delta Tide, still taking off the bull market. I only take off when I sell, so we have to go through the bull market to the point where I sell. So to be clear again, I'm not stepping down just because the bull market's here. If that was the case, I would have stepped down, gosh, around March or so. But what will happen is as things start to get overheated, we'll take a look at certain indicators. There's a link in the description. It says it's one of my 4 crypto critical videos. And one of those is when I'm selling 50 to 80% of all of my digital assets. And I'm looking for specific indicators. And once that happens, I come on the show, I tell you I sold, I tell you why I sold, I tell you how much I sold. I'm not going to tell you the dollar amount because I don't want to get wrench attacked. And then I say, okay, depending on where we're at, I might sell a little bit, but that's it. And have fun with the rest of your bull market. And it'll go up because I'll never catch the top. And then I'll come back when the bear market's here. So I'm not taking off just as the bull market starts. Again, bull market started a while back. And we did all our jobs by buying crypto and digital assets in 2023, 2022, 2023, and 2024. And some of us are still buying. So all the hard work's already done. Actually, that's not true. The hardest work is actually hitting the sell button. Hey, Rob, what percentage of your Solana holdings are staked? 50%. 50% of all of my Solana is staked. And you know how I staked it? I staked it through TANGEM wallet, cold storage device. If you don't know how that works, I would much rather stake my crypto from a cold storage device. And that was the one thing that got me about Ledger versus TANGEM. Well, now they rolled that part out and you can actually stake it. If you want to know how to do that, there's a link in the description. There's 3 of them. Well, there's 3 parts to it. First, what the heck is TANGEM and how it actually works. The second one is how to stake within TANGEM. And the third video is how to swap within TANGEM for extremely low fees. Links in the description, and they're all together. And if you want to buy one, there's an affiliate link. You don't have to use the affiliate link. You can go right to TANGEM. Whatever the heck the website is. Hopefully you go to the right one, don't get scammed, but you don't get 10% off. So that's it. Jets. Bitcoin on 100K is a bargain. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let's me want to see this. And I said, yeah, I'm getting ready for the dive in the pool. So this one right here. This was just 4 weeks ago from HL Hunter 4481. And this was during our NFA Live with me, Guy from Coin Bureau, and Ben from the CRYPTOVERSE. And the comment states, and I quote, 8 months of excuses, GFY. Go find yourself? I don't know what that means. Next one is nothing but excuses. And then the last one is Bitcoin is an S show, just like this show. And I have to give up to that part was pretty funny. And I said, this is just 4 weeks ago. So just like Jet says, Bitcoin under 100K is a bargain. I said if investing and holding was easy, everyone would do it. And there's a reason why there's a reason why we got a couple thousand people watching. It's because the other 100, 200, 300 million people, well, 370 million plus people in America are not into this. They're not into this because it's just too tough. It's just too hard for them. And I get it. It's tough to sit there and look at your portfolio being down 90%. And you're like, what the hell happened? And then you're just thinking to yourself, I should just sell and get out because I'll just cut my losses and I'll do something safer. This is ridiculous. But no, you didn't. You kept buying. And now here you are. So again, I know like Jet says, Bitcoin 100K is a bargain. It's easy to say. But I bet it took a lot of work to get here. I love that comment. That was a good one. Just wait till the OnlyFans lady is going to board. This will dwarf the banks, perhaps. Trade ETH for feet. Pump it up and sell to pump on a crypto. Yeah. Pow, pow, meow, meow. That's a good one. Shifty Shift. I think that would be a good name. Demonos, do you have that US flag speedo jump in the pool? I do not. That was just stolen from the internet. Nice. Tara Wilkes is probably yard pass secured. I'm flying out of Memphis at 5 tomorrow morning. Looking forward to it. Great, man. If you're here, we're going to have a, this is for everybody. If you're in Puerto Rico, I think we should probably celebrate, right? So, San Juan Smokehouse, 5 p.m. I'll buy the first round of beers or drinks and the cheap stuff, not the really good stuff. No, I'm just kidding. And then Steve and the owner will buy the second round. So let's all go out there. Have a good time. Yeah, Peter Schiff, his son owns a lot of Bitcoin. I hear that's true. Like I said, life is short. Call your siblings and tell them that they're ugly. Yeah. Peter Schiff, didn't he call Bitcoin holders idiots again recently? He may have in a comment, but again, I still personally believe he owns Bitcoin. Alex Jones is a highly entertaining guy. No way. Patrick Mahomes got paid $5 million of his contract in Bitcoin. Wow. There's another guy, defensive tackle. I forgot his name, but he got paid like roughly 10 million in Bitcoin years ago, and now it's worth, I want to say, like 25 million. So pretty good deal for him. Coinbase just listed Pepe. You know what that's going to mean. Yeah. Thanks, Rob, for helping me get to where I am today in crypto from your sharing pertinent data. I didn't really do much. You did all the hard work. You're the one that has to answer to yourself and to your significant other. You're like, hey, where's all the money going? Don't you worry about it, baby. Don't you worry about it. It's going to our future. And then, of course, you just neglected to tell them that you were probably down 80% in the bear market. But good for you. Not relationship advice, but don't tell them squat until you make it. Is XRP relisted on Robinhood? Yes, it is, apparently. That's pretty cool. David Arroyo, thank you for becoming a subscribing member. I think you get some like free stickers or something. Not for sure. The pool man. So when Rob is selling, we're holding on for another 10 to 20% profit. No, I think some of you are going to do way better than me. Actually, I can guarantee some of you are going to do way better than me. You're going to, I'm going to sell, and you're going to look at some indicators and go, no, that's not for me. Rob can do what he wants to do. He's not my dad. So I'm just going to stick around, and maybe you might go up 500%. I have no idea. But I guarantee you some of you will do way better than I will. And I'm okay with that. Alex Jones is insane. Stop sharing his S on your channel. We're all insane. Come on. Hope you're well. Calculon. flash flight to Texas will be 100K while you're in PR. No, I'm staying right here. It's the best place to be. You kidding me? Dog go to the moon. Exactly. I own a bunch of that. You know which one is outperforming now is Billy. Billy Dollar Cat it's a rune. It's a meme coin on Bitcoin. It's ranked 410 and it's just above 100 million for a market cap. So, and over the last, and I talked about this like just a week ago, and it's gone up 50%, and over 30 days, 70%. So yeah, it's doing pretty good. Show's on fire. The show's on fire because it's funny. The show's on fire because the market's on fire. This show wasn't on fire in November 2022 when FTX collapsed and Celsius and Voyager and all of our portfolios crumbled underneath us. This is what it looks like to stick around. This is what it looks like to dig in your heels and say, no. I may have screwed up this part, but as long as I show up, the more I show up, the luckier I get. And then things just work out. Hey, Meme. Meme, you gonna be able to make it tomorrow? Be good. Free drinks, just saying. Bitcoin to 1 million by 2026? Maybe. Well, that would really suck because that would screw up my entire Bitcoin price prediction of $50 to 500,000, somewhere around. Yeah. Is that the Meld logo behind you? Let me see. Yeah, right there. It's the Meld logo. And I know what you're saying, but Rob, Meld collapsed and Meld is shutting down operations on December 31st, 2024. Exactly. I'm going to leave it up there as a reminder that not everything goes up and not everything works out. And all of these projects are essentially businesses, and businesses fail. So when you think that just because we had a great day, week, month, or whatever it is, that it'll go up forever, I want to stick that there and make sure you remember it so you don't think to yourself that you're invincible, because you're not. And that's why these rules are underneath me. And the last rule is take profits along the way. You know, it's up to you to determine when that is, but I'm not here to be a moon boy. I'm here to congratulate you when you did well. I'm here to keep you in the even kilter and share some bad news and negative sentiment so you don't float away. Boring. Ali, I don't know what else to do. I'm boring for some people. We're the champions. Yeah. Down 30 to 50% and kept on buying. Exactly. You know, it'd be good to see. I wonder what the indicators say today. Let's take a look. Getting a little risky. Actually, let's take a look at the risk bands, shall we? Who's the riskiest of them all? Solana, 0.7, and Aave. Crazy. Let's take a look at these wristbands for Bitcoin. Holy smokes. Hey, we're back up to 92,000. Let me see, is that right? Yeah. What did I tell you? People are going to try to sell, do some leveraged goofy plays, which good for them. That's ballsy, especially right here. And then they just bring it right back up. This must be like paradise for some traders. Anyhow, you're at 0.61 as far as the risk bands. And what does that mean when we get to 0.7? Not too far away, $112,000. What about 0.8? 139,000. And to see the rest, sign up for Ben's website. And it'll give you, and you can see like where the top out is. But there's that. So what's another good one? How about Cardano? That'd be good. You know, Cardano's doing pretty great. 0.48. I remember the all-time highs were around $3. So let's see if we can get back to that For us to get back to $3, that's pretty high. Yeah, 0.9 would be $3.20. And if we top out, this is just wristbands, $5.21. Wouldn't that be something? $5 per Cardano? Ooh, it'd be nice. Hold on, let me go back. I want to see what's SI. Oh, the on-chain metrics. MVRV. Ooh, this one's inching up there. Yeah. MVRV is okay, but if you take a look at the MVRV Z-score, the market value to realized value, the Z-score kind of takes out a lot of the noise. This one didn't really hit it too well, but you can tell when things are getting overheated, and we're getting there. Just like I'm going to guess this is March. Yeah. Remember 10th of March when we had this huge blow off? Well, I wouldn't say it a blow off top. That's kind of ridiculous. But we had a big, massive run up because of all the excitement for the Bitcoin ETF. And what did that top out at? Like 60 something? 63? Everything that's awesome. Now we're almost at 100K. And here we are. So MVRV is high, huh? Interesting. But again, what I like about this is it gives you a summary of all the different indicators. But if you scroll back to the 5th of November, I mean, the summary is 0.75. I thought it was 0.8 at one point. Yeah, almost 0.8. 25th of April. No, 19th of April. Which, if you would have been above 0.8 for this summary and sold at that point for that timeline, what would you be at? 60,000? That's not bad. And everything crashed after that. Remember, Bitcoin, July, August, September. And then it started to really ramp up in November. And we had like a double top, and then everything just collapsed. And then there you go. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, I see it happening again. Where dogs thrive. I just think I might not have as much as many, but I have more than those who have zero. Trust me, there are so many people out there that are not exposed to this whatsoever. And the reason they're not exposed is because of the Peter Schiffs, the Dan Peñas, the Peter Zihans, the Kramers of the world who get on there and religiously talk about how bad Bitcoin is and how it doesn't make any sense. Dave Ramsey. And those are supposed to be like the gurus of finance. And they just don't get exposed to it because they're like, well, those guys have been around forever and they're experts of what was. So I'm going to listen to them. If you're looking for an expert of what was, why do I need you? I need you to tell me of what's going to be. What was. So anyhow. Ali, you're welcome to stick around. But I don't. That's funny. Ali said it was boring 10 minutes ago, and he's still here. Maybe it's not that boring to Ali. Is Sui the new soul? Potentially. That's why I put it into my my retirement portfolio. Because you guys understand how this works, right? First of all, if you're looking for like a retirement account, I would recommend iTRUST, obviously. I've had it now for 3 years, works out great. When you trade within your Roth IRA, it's tax exempt. So when Pepe, Bonk, and Dog of Hat and Doge go crazy parabolic, I'm going to sell them, guaranteed. And I'm going to put them into Bitcoin. And it's going to be tax-free. So with this one, I put in SWI because I think Sol's going to do great. But I think SWI is like going to be right there at its heels. And SWI has a lower market cap, so there's more upside. So why not? And then, of course, as time goes on, I will sell them and put them into Bitcoin. And when Ethereum tops out or gets close, I'll sell that and put it into Bitcoin. This IRA is going to be nothing but Bitcoin at some point. Just have to wait. So many people in my circle this morning are saying Bitcoin is a scam and stocks are better. My response this morning is LOL. The people that you know, the people that I know, yeah, thumbs up. I don't think they realize just how powerful BlackRock is, and the rationale that when BlackRock gets into an asset, it's going to blow up. And they have their hands in everything globally. So, you know, if you have it like that, and you have the president-elect of the United States talking about making a strategic reserve, I don't know what else you need. That's a good question. Why don't you ask them that question? Like, well, you know, our president, our government agencies are looking to add that as a reserve. And then this ETF is the best performing ETF of all time. And it's actually eclipsing, well, as far as BlackRock goes, their gold ETF. So what other information do you need? Actually, you know what would be better? Just to tell them, just to say, you're probably right. Don't get into it. And then just let them twist in the wind until it goes up above 100K or 150K. And then when they say it's a scam, you know, oh, okay, it's a scam. And then just wait. And then when they're like, oh man, I should have bought it. Now it's 250K. Like, yeah, just missed it. Sorry. that's probably what I do. It's pretty fun. Although it's not so fun when everything collapses again. So just remember that. Sweet. Sounds good. Yeah, I remember that too. I remember the 17K buy of 2022. We're going to zero apparently. Just remember it. I hate to rub it in. I do. Oh, I didn't know Bic. Wow. Oh, this isn't it. I guess I can't. Remember the video for Peter Zion where he said that, yeah, Bitcoin's about 16K, and it's got another 17K to go down. That's it. Alex Jones is an idiot. Don't play sorry to me. I didn't say he was a genius. I said he was entertaining. Fully on-chain AI. Oh, nice. See, Andrew, that's what it's all about right there. Thanks to Bitcoin and a bunch of wallets I hold, I can pay my car off. There is nothing better than having no stress or minimizing parts of your life to have minimal stress. That's where all the greatness comes from. You know, like, I don't know if you guys have to work at like a 9-to-5 job, or if you have to answer to somebody. It sucks. You know what's the greatest thing? It's just waking up whenever you want to, doing things that when you want to, not having to really answer to anybody. And then if you want to take things slow, or you want to do some certain activity during the day, do whatever you want to. That's real wealth, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Odell Beckham kept his Bitcoin a couple of years ago. Maybe, I don't know. Yep. StudyBug says your retirement portfolio is always diamond hands. I haven't sold anything for decades. StudyBug, that's if you're, you know, if you like have individual stocks and you believe in those, sure. But I'm going to tell you, like, for my retirement account, which I got to tell you is coming up pretty quickly, that I can actually take it out. I'm not holding on to dog with hat as like my retirement asset. I'm just there to trade within it and then just to make into more Bitcoin. That's pretty much it. Don't watch American football. Wasn't it Tom Brady? Tom Brady he did some of the, where he's a big proponent of FTX. And I think he invested a ton. And I think that's why he's had some problems. But yeah, I don't know what he's doing now other than the fact that he's in the booth. So but I do think that Tom Brady is doing just fine financially. Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. I think that's the basketball player. Now I was talking about Okram, I forgot his name, the defensive tackle. Straight shooter. It's true. Benjamin's here. Andy. Schiff and Pelosi probably hold Bitcoin. Even Warren, I don't know. Even Warren has some. They are rich and not that stupid. They own crypto. Maybe. I just know that I own crypto, and that's about it. Justin says, everyone wants to buy now when markets are up, just as we need to help people when they're down. We tend to only show up when they're up. It's pretty much my entire channel. The channel does well during the bull market. Bear market, not so much. Yeah, I'll see you, JB. Sweep price prediction, absolutely. Sweep crypto will be between 10 cents and $26 by the end of this run. When do altcoins go to the moon? I'll ask Ben that exact question when we do NFA Live tomorrow. So Ben has a theory that Ethereum has to come home, and he actually put out a video, I want to say it was a week ago, where he said that either we've bottomed for Ethereum, which means altcoin season is going to start, or I think he said there could be one more leg down, one of those two. And I was just like, oh, that means buy everything. Okay. So for me, when I saw that, I'm like, well, this is pretty much it. I could risk it and not go for it, but I might as well get in as much as I possibly can. So yeah, it worked out so far. I tell you what I'm gonna have problems with is selling. So do NFTs have a future? I think they do. I just don't think that the future isn't like goofy doodles and little crazy art pieces. I think it has to do more so with like the ownership aspect of something. Like here's an example. Let's say you're in a real estate investment trust, an REIT, and instead of having tokenizing it, you can just distribute NFTs, and that could be like your certain shares into whatever the REIT is. I think it's just it's like a smoother way of doing things. And then of course, like as far as like identification, as far as like, would be another big thing for NFTs, I think would be is like, have you ever bought a membership online to a specific site or a specific product or a specific service? But in the terms of service, it said you can't transfer that to anywhere else. Imagine if you could do that. That'd be pretty good. I think it would work, but you'd have to say like, okay, if I do sell this, because let's say it's like, here's an example, like lawnmower service, gardening service, I don't know what it is, or like property management service. If you kept, passing on and selling it, then the company that does that would never make any money because they have made it off of you. But if they said, okay, well, there's royalties to it. If you do sell it, 10% goes to us and you take 90%. So much the better. I think NFTs could do something like that. Oh, yeah. Happy with the decision, especially after last week. Yeah, exactly. Gary says, use Tangem for alts, not for Bitcoin. Use a Keystone or Cold Card. I don't know the difference, man. Tangem's been around since 2018. It's got almost 2 million users, not one hack. So, but I mean, you're free to do whatever you want to. I don't have all my Bitcoin on Tangem. First of all, I have multiple Tangem wallets, and I also have multiple Ledger wallets. So, ICP to 5K. Justin says, any new nation states stacking sats? Not that I know of, but apparently there's supposed to be some big announcement coming up. Is Polygon going to come back? Never know. I don't think anybody really thought that Cardano was going to come back, did they? I shouldn't say that. I thought it would do well, but a lot of people were really fading it, really going past it because they're like, it doesn't do anything, and nobody's building on it. Then all of a sudden, Charles Hoskinson came out and said, hey, I'm going to be advising to different members of Congress and flying back and forth to Washington, D.C. to educate. And then all of a sudden, It went up like 40%, 50%. Like, I did not have that on my bingo card. So who knows? With Polygon, another big partnership could come out, or some, who knows? And it could do well. It just depends. Just depends. Where is SBF? He is in jail where he should be. Machine learning classes. Looking at 100K a day with financial news later. That would be something. It's going to be, there should be an area of resistance to 100K. There should be. I'm assuming there's a lot of sell orders around 100K. So if we hit that, it's oof. Rob, when are you retiring from YouTube? Like, totally? I don't know if I'll ever retire totally, but like to step down, like I said, like sell some crypto and step away until the bear market. It'll be a nice little break. But YouTube is fun. Like, I don't really have, like, I do other parts around here in Puerto Rico, but you know, this just gives me a little something to do, and it's fun to chat with all you people. Oh, did I? Thank you, Rob, for putting me on a whiff a year ago. Wow, it's been that long. Didn't tell the wife. Good job, Steve. Good job. That was a different kind of fire. It was character building. Yeah, exactly. Linda says, where's the link to that cold wallet? So if you, this is what I see, but what you guys see is like this. In the description, it's going to say Bitcoin, the entire crypto market is taking off. First of all, is taking off. And you scroll down. The Celsius Voyager timeline videos. Yeah, don't forget those. Crypto critical videos. Oh, I have 5. Why and when I'm selling 80%. Stress-free profit taking. That's a good one. The half and half method. Dynamic DCing. Avoid the crypto mistakes and don't fall for the scam. Those are all good. Crypto essentials. iTRUST Crypto IRA. You get a $100 sign-up bonus into the CRYPTOVERSE site. And right here, TANGEM cold storage wallet. Deep dive video, how it works. Staking video, how that works. How to swap video, how that works. And there's an affiliate link of 10% off right there. That's it. Everything's in the description. This is interesting. And I was going to talk about this, but I didn't think we had enough time. But check this out. If you got friends and family who are bugging you about what should I buy, what should I buy, this might be a pretty good answer. Well, that's not it. Coinbase just released this today. No, this was yesterday. Was it? Yeah, yesterday. And it's a market cap weighted index, kind of like the S&P 500, right? And it's the top 50 eligible assets. And I want you to notice something. This is the top 50 assets, and they put them all together. And then that's essentially you put $100 in, they split it between everything. And out of those 50, it will be interesting how this works. Out of those 50, you know, as they start to, like, you know, drop out of the top 50, they get replaced by something else, and they allocate to that. I counted them all in the video. It's only 36. So I don't know what the other 14 are, but you got Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, Doge, DOT, Cardano, AVAX, Shiba Inu, Link, Near, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. All right. Polygon, Fetch, ICP, Uniswap, Injectable, Aave, Bonk, Stacks, ETH Classics. All right. Render, HBAR, MakerDAO, Atom, Lido, EOS, Immutable X. Again, it's not all of them, but it's pretty cool. Pretty good idea for them. So if you got friends and family who are like, what should I invest into? Tell them Bitcoin first, then go with that. That would make sense to me. Thoughts on Pepe? It's probably going to outperform everything in my portfolio. I have it on my, like I said, I have it in my personal portfolio and also my retirement portfolio. I'm a believer after seeing millions of dollars being made. Niels, this is good. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. I need you guys to listen up on these things. Rob wanted to bring up a recent scam that happened to me. Fake Coinbase support called me. Wow. They actually called you, knew your number, knew you had a Coinbase account. How did they know that? That's the question. If they, unless, well, I guess that's not a bad idea. Like, if someone knows that somehow they know that you're a crypto investor and they can find your phone number, it's a pretty good guess you probably have Coinbase. But I don't know how they find your information. But this has happened to me too. They called me saying an attempt to change my password was made in Germany. The scammers had my email and phone number. And of course, you went against that. Same thing happened to me. Somebody called me and said, hey, we've had some suspicious activity. I'm going to send you a code. If you could read that back to me, and then we can verify your account. And I said, go after yourself, because I know you're a scamming piece of trash. Actually, I didn't say that. I first said, I go, no, that's never going to happen. And then the guy got belligerent with me. And then I called him a piece of trash. These things happen. So what they're doing is, like, they have your phone number. And what they'll do is they'll go into your account for Coinbase and they'll request a code be sent to your phone. And they're just talking to you. Hey, what's that code? And then you give it to them and they put it in over there, and then they get access to your account. And this is why you should never have it just as a 2FA text. You need to have it as a 2FA Google authenticator. So even if I was tired, I didn't really know what's going on, I still gave them that code. Even if I would have done that and they would have said, thanks, loser, and they hung up, they still couldn't take it off of the platform because they would have to need the Google authenticator code, which resets itself every 45 to 60 seconds. So make sure that you know that. Here's another one I want to show you. And that's why, like, those videos, the Crypto Critical, both of these are important. And it explains that. But this just happened to me this morning. Come on. Oh. Yeah, I got this text today. And it said, ticket update, change your Coinbase account has been requested. If you did not authorize this request, please respond N for no, I guess. And then once you do that, they'll send you a text. Okay, we're going to verify this with the code. And then same code thing goes in. Or they'll call me directly to try to get me. But that's going to happen a lot. So, yeah. I mean, you did a great job investing. Now, good luck keeping away from the scammers. Poldy says, DCA at November. I start now, keep my profits, happy me. Exactly. says, Rob forgets that in 2025, after Meld is shut down, the tourists will come and ask, yo, man, what is this hype token behind you? Yeah, and I'll tell them, that is a project that I invested into that fell flat and went to zero. And I kept it up there to remind you that all these things are not going to go up forever. And you're going to lose out. And you got to be cautious. You know what said? This is going to be a good story. PH says, I've had a plan to layer out with a few to buying back when it corrected. I made six-figure profits so far, but I could have made twice as much. C'est la vie. That's true. But it's okay. And one more thing about selling, when you guys eventually do sell, you can never look back. You can never look back, because when you sell something, you just know that eventually it would go up, whether that be it goes up the next day, the next week, the next 4 years, but it will go up. So whatever you sell, you have to go, that's it, I'm sold. And as long as you get that life that you want, whatever that life is, right? You have no debt, you have no stress, you don't answer anybody, you're not stuck at a 9-to-5 rat race job, whatever you're doing. As long as you have that, and that's what you essentially put your money into, you got a great life. Yeah. I feel like taking profits today, but I don't want to miss extra gains. I hate making this decision. Guess I'll take a little bit off the table. But everyone broke taking profits. Add a new rule, Rob, I will not shill. Why would I say that? Because that would be me lying to you. I shill, I mean, TANGEM and retirement accounts, and I shill Bitcoin constantly on this channel. I shill Bitcoin more than anything else in this channel, matter of fact. I shill ETHEREUM and I shill Solana because I own it. So, I mean, come on. Oh, man. Vicky, it's been a long time, man. How's things going over there? Do you think there's a possibility we top before 2025, like December 2024? Maybe. I mean, like, one of the things that I've corrected myself is not being so adamant that we have to go to a certain time frame. We just have to take a look at the indicators. If the indicators tell us things are way massively overheated, it's time to layer out. And that's it. But there is this one trump card, which is Bitcoin becomes that reserve asset. And when that happens, it's all bets are off for everything. Super cycle, maybe. But even the stock market is overheated, massively overheated. Yeah, Jenny says, Rob, you should do a video about what to do, how to adjust when you can retire early. You touch on this time, but a deep dive could be insightful. Let me, there's this website, links in the description. Dan Teaches Crypto. Horrible name, but it's a free website and it'll always be free and it's pretty much my best stuff. And one of the things that I wrote there was a blog post 4 years ago. And it says, before you make your crypto millions. And it just kind of goes over like what you're going to go through when you, hopefully you do something better than me, which is think about what you're going to do when money is not an issue. And it goes over purpose, and it goes over depression, and it goes over the problems that you have in your life and the people that you gain and lose and what's really important. So that's the bigger issue. This isn't applicable in the bear market, but it is now. So I recommend just read that. That's a good way. That's a good segue to get out of here. So look, there's a long video today, an hour or so, but it's a good day. So remember, if you're in Puerto Rico tomorrow, have a little victory lap over at San Juan Smokehouse. I'll post this on the X account, but that's it for today. So look, like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. There's some things we want to start to get into. It's not so much about Bitcoin. We know that's a winner already. I think it's now we're going to have to start to pivot a little bit and go into some of the alts and some of the more risky plays because we've already secured this part over here. We'll still talk about Bitcoin, where things are going, obviously, but I think that there's a lot of room for some things to be discussed when those, like I said, World Mobile Token and a couple other different ones. That's it for today. So thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate you. See you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Adios.